Welcome to Listen Up Now, and to let you know what's going on in your world and my world, your guy, my guy, right guy.
Welcome back again. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have a super duper guest here. His name?
Franco Ortuno, aka Function with Franco from the Aspen Hill Club. Pleasure to be back here.
Pleasure to have you, Franco. Thank you so much for making it out. It's been a minute, so we have a lot to catch up on.
We're going to jump right in. First and foremost, welcome back to the show. We're going to run it a little different. Today, we're going to talk about technology in the fitness space. We were having a conversation previously before we started this show about, in particular, the Whoop.
So, essentially, Whoop is like a wearable monitor, pretty much, that you can wear anywhere, whether it's on your wrist, on your bicep. Essentially, what it does, it tracks your sleep, your recovery, and your strain.
How long have you been wearing the Whoop?
Ooh, I've been wearing this for like 2 years at least. At the very minimum, 2 years, yeah.
In those 2 years, what have you found?
It's helped me build a better relationship with those biomarkers that we talked about, and just being better about my sleep, being better about what I'm doing throughout my day in terms of how I'm straining my body. Is it coming through exercise? Is it coming through stress, unnecessary stress? And it's definitely helped me out a lot. You know, I don't think it's something that everyone needs, but I think it's a good tool to have under your belt in terms of when you're first getting started, or if you just want to get better about those relationships like I was talking about.
And you had mentioned that this Whoop watch, it can give you your biological age.
Yes.
Do you mind sharing what that is for you?
Yeah. Mine was 22.3 years old, and I'm currently 25 years old.
Wow, nice. So you're
under.
Yeah, I'm under. But the thing is, I was even younger. And because of just me going back to certain habits that might not be the best for my body, it slowly started to accelerate that pace of aging.
Does it give you how it expects you to live to?
No. not, I'm sure it will soon, which is going to be game-changing, and I don't even know if that's going to be a good thing, honestly. And the thing about the Whoop, too, is it has like a little AI coach, which is pretty cool. And you can pretty much ask it anything. It'll help you, whether it's putting together a workout, whether it's, okay, how do I get better about my sleep? It'll give you certain protocols, things like that to follow to help you get on track onto whatever your goals are.
And you had mentioned that so you're 25 years old.
25 years old.
Your biological age. So almost 26.
Almost 26.
Biological
All right, guys,
age,
enough of that.
22. But it was lower.
Is that
what happened?
21.8.
Like, what were the habits you noticed that you think brought it down?
I think just because summertime, I was going out a lot more, staying up later, not getting as much quality sleep as I used to. Definitely. Little things like that. More and more studies have been coming out recently about how important sleep is. You want to be in deep sleep. You don't want to be spending too much time in light sleep. And your Whoop actually will show you that. It'll show you how much time you spend in REM, how much time you're spending in light sleep, how much time you spend awake throughout the night. The point is to be in that REM sleep, because that's when you're getting that quality sleep that you need. And that's brings me back to my point, is like, when I talk about sleep, I look at, am I getting quality? Am I getting good quality? Not really at the quantity. Of course, we want to be getting good quantity, like aiming for that 7 to 8 hours. But for me, sometimes I can get those 7 to 8 hours, but I'll spend a lot of times awake because I wake up a lot throughout the night. Sometimes I might get 6 hours, but that'll be 6 hours of deep sleep, and I'll wake up feeling very refreshed the next day, as opposed to getting 8 hours of sleep and then waking up still feeling kind of groggy and all that, which is something that does happen a lot.
That's the sort of thing I've been noticing recently, because I feel like even nights where I used to always think like, oh, if I get to sleep at this time, I know I have to wake up at this time. That gives me 7 hours. That gives me 8 hours. I should be good. But take a night like last night, for example. I was like, why am I having so much trouble falling asleep? I wake up, I don't feel as well rested, even though I got my usual amount of sleep. It's like, oh yeah, I had coffee after 5. It was like 5:30. I had my last sips of coffee. But you start finding those things like, oh yeah, I exercised a bit later. Maybe my heart was still going. Maybe, I was still, or maybe I ate too late. Whatever it may be, there's different factors that can sort of affect that quality going into it. Have you found anything to be particularly effective as far as activating that quality sleep, getting into REM more easily?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that. So definitely to talk about caffeine, like you just mentioned. Caffeine, if I'm not mistaken, it stays in your system up to between 10 to 12 hours. So for me, if I'm going to be consuming caffeine that day, usually no later than 3 p.m. Usually, honestly, before noon or around that time is when I'll consume caffeine. Then I'll usually make sure that my last meal of the day is at least 3 hours before I go to sleep, because I want to give my body enough time to digest my food. I don't want to go to sleep with my body still having to worry about digesting food.
Do you normally take a walk or something after you eat? Because sometimes I'll get the itis after I eat.
Yeah, no, definitely it helps to walk. I mean, for me, I don't always do it, but when I get the chance to, always will go for a walk, whether it's just, walk down the street and back to my house. I like to walk at least like anywhere from like 10 to 15 minutes. If I can do more, I'll do more. But it's great because not only is the process of walking helping, my body digest my food, but it's also kind of like getting me ready to go to bed. Another thing that I like to do before going to bed is like, I won't be on my phone an hour before I go to sleep. Something I haven't been the best about recently, though, I won't lie. But then also I kind of like to dim the lights in my room because I notice, for example, lights right like this right now, they tell my brain, hey, it's time to wake up. Hey, it's time to be awake. So when I'm laying in bed and my lights are on in the room, especially like this, my brain is not going to be like, oh, it's time to go to bed. So when I dim the lights, just kind of helps my body be like, okay, hey, time to start slowing down, time to start getting ready for bed.
So all the nighttime routines are super important, and I didn't even think about the blue light, the phones. Walking after is ideal, but I think the bigger thing for me I've noticed is after you eat, especially if it's a big meal at night, you just want to like lay down immediately, or sit down at the very least, and that's not going to really help the process of digestion so well, especially if you're laying down like in a sleep type position, like in bed or something. So yeah, definitely staying moving, trying to do something afterwards could go a long way in that. And then I think about the flip side, going to the morning, getting in that REM cycle. I've heard so many people talk about the benefits of waking up and then going outside, like pretty much immediately in the first 15, 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that you've tried or practiced or have any thoughts on?
Oh my gosh, yes. When I really started taking my health seriously, when I started taking my self-improvement journey seriously, that's one thing that I was doing pretty often. And I noticed a huge difference. Getting sunlight in the morning first thing, it helped my energy levels, right? Seeing that light, that sunlight, and it's telling my eyes, going to my eyes, telling my brain, hey, time to wake up, time to start getting productive. Not only is it good for energy, but it's good for your mood. I felt that I was in a better mental headspace than if I wasn't doing it. Now, it's not a crazy difference, but you definitely feel happier, which is a big thing.
And I wanted to kind of wrap it back around to personal training in specific. If we're talking about time of the day, waking up, sunlight, energy levels through the day, have you found any specific benefits to working out, let's say in the morning versus the afternoon or even evening?
I prefer working out in the morning to afternoon because in the evening, there's people that say you have more energy in the evening, which yeah, it can be true. But for me, when I work out too late at night, especially, I have trouble going to sleep. Yeah. That's just the harsh reality. It may be different for the person watching this, but for me, that's how my body works. And for me, in the morning, I kind of like to wake up, do some work first, and then go train. So that's why typically I'll go train around noontime. And for me, that's when my energy levels are kind of at its peak.
And I'm also curious to whether or not your stress levels are higher if you did a midday workout versus doing a morning workout. Is that something the Whoop lets you track pretty much? Or how does it gauge stress?
Yeah. It measures it through heart rate variability.
Okay. And it gives you a guideline of what is healthy and not. So
it shows you different stress zones and everything.
Have you noticed in your own training when your stress levels spike, have you noticed a pattern or they haven't really spiked in your world? Because you're perfect.
So it's not necessarily, I'm not perfect. Far from that, but thank you. When it comes to the stress levels during my workout, it's gonna spike because of the workout, and especially depending on how intense I'm going. But it's more so when I'm looking at the stress levels on my Whoop, I'm looking at it throughout the day. And usually throughout the day, in the morning it'll start off even peaking a little bit, but usually I find that in that evening time is when it's at its highest, after I've done all my work, after I've done whatever I have to do.
Maybe completely off topic of physical stress or stress in your body. Mentally, have you found the Whoop giving you some information when you're having a hard day mentally?
No, not too much on that, honestly.
Okay.
Well, as opposed to in terms of how it's helped?
Yeah, meaning, hey, it's 4 o'clock on a Monday. I've had clients all day. Some drove me crazy. I'm looking at my Whoop and it says that my heart is pounding, and then at that point, you can find ways to slow it down or.
Yeah, so in times like that, what I do is like if I'm feeling like, super overwhelmed or whatever, the Whoop has definitely helped me develop certain habits. And it's a matter of, recognizing which habit I need to practice at that moment when I feel super overwhelmed or super stressed or things like that.
Keeps you mindful of those things.
Keeps me mindful. And, for me, we talked about walking. Sometimes I'll just go take a walk, kind of clear my head that way.
And how often does the Whoop send you a notification of something's wrong? Or is it something you look at every day at 4 o'clock, or does it automatically give you updates?
Oh, it'll automatically give me updates. So, for example, like when it's time to go to bed, it'll recommend a time to go to bed. But also, you mentioned if the Whoop gives me updates, it's really cool actually. Sometimes it'll tell me, hey, your heart rate variability has been really high. Hey, your skin temperature is really high. And usually I get notifications like that, and it's an indicator sometimes I might be getting sick or that I am sick, and it's really cool. It's kind of like a mini doctor basically.
And on this topic of the Whoop and different technology advancements in the space, I wanted to pull it into personal training and ask how you see AI, wearables, or data analytics impacting the personal training industry going forward.
So many people nowadays, so many different companies are trying to get on this Whoop wave, trying to offer similar data measurements, Aura Ring and all that. And I think I see it as another way for just companies to make money off of people. At the end of the day, you don't need this. It's a matter of, doing the simple things, going to bed early, eating good food, getting enough time to rest and recover, and just crushing your workouts.
At the end of the day, knowledge is power, knowledge is strength. And Franco, he does it for a living. He knows all this stuff like the back of his hand, and then you add the Whoop in, and he's like Iron Man.
I don't think Whoop knows as much as he knows, let's be honest.
So that's why if you're not a personal trainer or as well versed, maybe starting with the Whoop is a good way to make you conscious of those things that maybe you haven't been tracking or thinking so much about. So I definitely could see that being a big advancement going forward. It sounds like it's already helping you a bit as well.
Yeah,
for sure.
And on the AI front, really quick, I want to ask, as a client of no personal trainer, because I'm with a firm philosophy like you, just get out there and be active. But if I'm coming to you and I say, hey, Franco, you know what? I need help with stuff. Are you recommending the Whoop, an Apple Watch, or an Aura Ring based on what you are seeing coming to the market right now? I know all three do something a little different, but your preference is the Whoop right now.
That's gonna be my preference. Yeah, I'm a little biased because I have one myself, but I mean, it also depends on the person. Do you like to wear something on your wrist? Do you prefer wearing something on your fingers? Because if that's the case, then go with the Aura, because that's what it is. It's a ring, right?
But I've also heard that their health meters are a little bit different than the
Whoop. Exactly. Apple Watch is a little bit different. Aura is a little bit different. They're all gonna be different in their own way. They're all going to offer different measurements, but from what I've seen and from what the data shows, it seems like Whoop is a top dog.
So we're going to whoop it up. Whoop, there it is.
That's right. And we've covered so many great topics, especially getting into technology, AI, the future of fitness, really. And so I think it's only right to cap it off. I actually had a whole page of questions prepared and got to pretty much none of them just because of all the different topics that we were jumping through. And it just turned out to be a fantastic flowing conversation where I learned so much I didn't even expect to. So Franco, thank you again for your time here and sharing all that. And just to cap it off, I wanted to ask, what trends do you think are shaping the next decade of fitness and strength training?
Honestly, I would say wearables right now. Everyone wants to always be up to the latest trend.
Well, it seems like we're going to be wearing our health in the future. I've seen everything from compression boots to now wearables to track my heart, my stress, and
people will be wearing the glasses to see their workout routines and different examples on screen, maybe.
Yeah, I think AI is going to be a game changer. Unfortunately, guys like me still going to need guys like Franco to walk us through the AI, because even though we got all the information at our fingertips, the execution of that information is key. And if you don't go through the proper training, what good is it? So,
and the accountability is most important as well. Having someone who knows you like on that personal level could hold you accountable to your goals and help you set them, customize them. As good as AI is getting at laying out that framework, what they miss is that human in-person one-on-one connection.
High tech is nice, but high touch is even better. Well, Franco, we can't wait to have you back. Chop it up again.
Thank you guys so much. This is a great talk. People can find me on Instagram, on Facebook at Function W Franco. That's Function with Franco, or at the Aspen Hill Club. Come train with us there. Way better way getting that human connection training.